You need to plant seeds. John Chapman was born in Pennsylvania in 1775. In his mid-20s, he started planting apple orchards all over his home state, Ohio, and Indiana. He would locate an unpopulated area, where he thought pioneers would settle. He would buy up land really cheap and establish an orchard and even build a fence around it. When it was done, he would travel and look for another site. He was infamous for wearing burlap clothing, no shoes, and having a cooking pot on his head. By 1810, he was known throughout the country as Johnny Appleseed. A couple of interesting facts. Once his trees had matured and were producing fruit, he would sell shares of the trees to local people for a few pennies. Another thing, Johnny was a member of the Swedenborgian Church, which taught that it was a sin to harm any living creation. To get edible apples you have to graft on parts from mature trees, and Johnny considered that was harming them, so his trees were only good for making apple juice and fermenting for liquor. It might be surprising for you to know that people didn't start eating apples regularly until the early 1900s. You might be asking yourself, what has this got to do with being a successful marketer on the internet? There is a parable in the Bible, Luke 8 verses 5-8. A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, it was trampled on, and the birds ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground, and when it came up, the plants withered because they had no moisture. Other seeds fell among thorns, which grew up with it and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil. It came up and yielded a crop 100 times more than was sown. There is a direct correlation between that parable and how we go about marketing on the internet. A lot of how we spend our time in front of the computer has nothing at all to do with planting seeds. Going through our email inbox, posting an amusing article on Facebook, and looking at cute videos of puppies on YouTube are never going to develop and produce fruit. Always ask yourself, can this action produce a positive result, and am I planting this in fertile soil? Johnny Appleseed was very frugal, but also very generous. He gave away most of what he earned. However, when he passed away in 1845, he had accumulated over 1,200 acres of apple orchards on prime real estate. Plant a few seeds on a regular basis, nurture, fertilize, and water them, and maybe you will end up with a sizable legacy to pass on to your children. Plus, you do not have to go barefoot, wear burlap clothing, and walk around with a tin cooking pot perched on your head. Let's all strive to be the Johnny Appleseed of internet marketing.